folks. Welcome back to the Games Done Quick channel and to Games Done Quick Hotfix. These are little shows that we scatter in between our biannual charity events and other events that we have going on that are similar to Hotfix but a little bit different. Speaking of which, before we get into what's happening today and in this episode of Going Places, one of those other events that I did just mention is Frame for Towels, which is Games Done Quick's all-women online speedrunning community, and the upcoming event Flame for Towels will run from August 13th to the 20th. Now, the schedule came out like just the other day, and let me tell you, that thing is pretty sweet. So you can check that out at gamesdonequick.com/schedule. You can also check out what the you can check them out, or you can submit your own. We're going to need some prizes for that event. So if you've got anything that you would like to contribute, you can once again have a look at our website and also type in !FF in the chat to have a look and submit your prizes. But Hotfix, what's happening today? Well, Going Places, this is usually an opportunity to have a look at games from around the speedrun landscape, I like to call it. We have a look at the games that we take as we are going places. Say something like Daxter for the PlayStation Portable, just an example I happen to have, or a game where we might travel to a certain place to find, like Egg for the PlayStation 1. I haven't finished it, and if you'd like to do some adventuring, you can find out what Egg is about, but we are not going to be having either Egg or Daxter. Instead, we are going to be having some Castlevania action. It's going to be Order of Ecclesia. I hope I said that right. Brooke is going to be with us later showing that off. That's a game for the DS. But on this little Nintendo rampage, we are going to be starting off with a game that, just before we started, the legitimacy of whether it's on this show was a little bit in question. But if we just pretend that this is a different Bomberman 64, we can let it slide. Maybe we'll go deeper on that lore. Maybe we won't rest on it at all. But we're going to be having Moogle Snake running Bomberman 64 100%, and we are also joined by the lovely Lively. So, Lively, care to introduce our runner?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm Livelyraccoon. I'll be doing commentary presenting this great Bomberman 64 gameplay presented by Moogle Snake. He will not be talking, but he will be gaming, and I think we're ready to get on into it. So I will give a quick countdown. 3, 2, 1... go.
Good luck, Moogle.
Good luck, good luck. All right, so this is Bomberman 64 100%. And so your natural first question might be, what is 100% in Bomberman 64? And so in Bomberman 64, we need to collect all the gold cards and all the costumes. And so one note on the costumes is that there are some unlockable costumes, and these are for multiplayer, that are only unlocked through completing certain objectives. And so one thing that we need to do is complete the true ending of the game on hard difficulty in under 3 hours in game time. And so as a result, we need to play on hard difficulty, and so that's what we're doing. Right off the bat, we see a cool bomb jump, and we're going to collect our first costume piece there. So costumes present themselves in two ways. There are those unlockable costumes that I just talked about, and then there are also those costume pieces. There are 2 per level, typically. And then we also have the gold cards. So there's 100 gold cards in total, 5 on each level. And 3 of them are just scattered throughout the level for the non-boss levels. So we'll just like blow up a tree and there'll be a gold card. And then there are 2 other gold cards. One is collected by killing 30 enemies. The 30th enemy will just drop it. And then there's 1 for completing the level in under the target time. And so we'll get into that in a bit. But right now, Snake is trying to get a remote bomb upgrade. So at the top of this slope, there are these snow troughs that we can knock down by walking on them. And one of them will contain a remote bomb upgrade. We'll see if he gets it on this third one here. Oh no, it's very unlucky. But we'll see if he keeps going for it. You can do this without remote bombs, but it is quite annoying. This is a very common reset point right at the start of the run. Okay, there we go. Didn't have to wait till the last one. Very nice. So remote bombs allow you to explode your bombs using Z. So normally bombs explode on like a 3-second timer. But if you have a remote bomb upgrade, then they only explode if you hit the Z button, which is very nice for quickly killing enemies as well as doing some bomb jumps. And so very important to get that. What you'll notice about this stage, by the way, is that there is a very strong wind on some of these screens. And that wind is actually made stronger in the hard difficulty of the game. And so if you're not like anchored to a tree or something like that, you can get pushed down to like the very bottom of that screen trying to go against the wind. Whereas if you're playing on normal difficulty, you can kind of counteract it. But because we're trying to get 100%, we need to be on hard difficulty. Also worth noting, Snake just got some power-ups, so we got that fire upgrade. So normally our bombs explode in a pretty small radius, but after getting 2 fire power upgrades, now our bombs are pretty big, and that's like the max that they can get. And so we're kind of at mostly full power. There will be an upgrade later that we can get to kind of make our bombs even stronger than they are now. We're gonna do a nifty jump here off the snowman, and then we're going to kill the snowman afterwards. Very temporary kind of friendship with the snowman before we dispose of him to get another enemy kill. And so kind of the general way this run goes is we're going to be running through stages, trying to collect all the gold cards and costume pieces, and along the way we're going to kill any enemies that we see. And here we're actually going to farm some enemy kills. So this house will just infinitely spawn these snowboarders, and so we're just going to sit here and we're going to kill enemies until we get around 30. And because we picked up this red bomb upgrade, you'll notice his bombs are now red. Our bombs do double damage. Normally these snowboarders would require a big bomb to kill, but we can kill them with a normal bomb with this red bomb upgrade. Anytime you see Snake pause, he's checking for his enemy count. So again, the 30th enemy that we kill will drop a gold card, and we want to make sure that we do that at the right point. So we're going to kill this last enemy here. He gives us our gold card. Then we go into this cave and blow up these flowers, and we should get a costume piece here. And then after that, we take a death warp, which will bring us back to the top of the screen. And that's pretty close to where the end of the level is. And so we'll kind of go back over towards the end of the level. And so in this one playthrough of the stage, we've collected 4 of 5 gold cards and 2 costume pieces. And so we need 1 more gold card. And that is the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. So the target times are actually harder to complete on hard difficulty. So you'll see at the bottom there, the target time is 10,000, which means 100 seconds. And so we have to play the stage a second time. And this time we're kind of going to do the any percent strat. So 100% is kind of a cool category because in a lot of the stages you learn the like 100% route, and then you're also kind of doing the any percent strategies. And so now we're just going to try to beat this level as quickly as possible. And so here we just kind of have to wait for the wind cycles. Again, if we tried to go up these slopes without waiting, we would get blown all the way down to the bottom of the screen, and that would be very bad. So just kind of waiting, anchoring ourselves to this tree, and then once the wind goes away, then we'll be able to kind of proceed and go towards the next part of the stage.
Nice. And I don't know how, tapped into what Moogle's done with this game, but having, just have a quick look on SRC, it looks like this is something that he's fairly new to, maybe in comparison to other runners, but is there anything that how experienced are both of you folks with this game? Yeah,
so Snake's been around for a bit, relatively newer runner, kind of compared to some of the older runners, I guess, probably within like the past couple of years. Snake started running this game. And I believe
Okay.
Snake started with 100%, which is normally not what people do because 100% is a very brutal category. But he started with it, and he's gotten pretty good. And as far as my experience goes, I'm old, so I've been running this game for around 10 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I imagine you've seen it, change a few times.
Yeah.
But what's happening with this boss?
So for the mini bosses, we still have those 5 gold cards, and so there are little objectives that we have to do within the boss fights to get those gold cards. And so at the start of this fight, what Snake did is he threw a big bomb on Regulus's head, and that gives us 1 gold card. He also interrupted his dash, which is a gold card specific to Regulus, and then he threw him into the explosion of a big bomb. That's another gold card. And then he kicked 2 more bombs into him to kill him, and that killed him without throwing him off the edge, which is another gold card. And then there's another target time gold card for completing the boss quickly. And so all in that kind of 15-second fight, we got all those 5 gold cards super quick.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we are on one of the hardest stages in the game, I would say. This stage has very slippery ice physics, made even more slippery by the hard difficulty of the game. And for some of these rooms, we have this very awkward camera angle where it's placing it below the ice. I don't entirely know why they wanted to do this, but it does make it look very silly and is a bit more difficult to play this way. So we're gonna
I was about to ask whether this was a runner's choice or whether the game did it deliberately. This is a very strange direction.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. I don't know what they wanted out of this, but yeah, you're kind of forced to do it at the start of this screen. And so Snake's gonna do a pretty cool skip here to jump over to this gold card. And this does 2 things. First of all, we don't have to walk through this narrow path twice. We just have to do it once. This narrow path is very annoying to traverse because we're dealing with very, very slippery ice physics. And it also skips the point where it would flip our camera back around. And so Snake's actually able to navigate this room with a normal camera for a bit and kill some of these enemies. This is a rare occasion where there are no remote bomb upgrades in this stage, and that plus the ice physics make it very difficult to kill some of those enemies, and so racking up 30 enemy kills can be a bit difficult. Now onto this screen, there are 3 things that we need to do on this screen, and so one is collecting this gold card that we just got, and then there's a costume piece on the right side that we need to get. This enemy is just giving us trouble here. There we go. Should get him. Okay, he got him. Good. And then we take an intentional death warp here. So there are 3 things that we need to do, and if you do them kind of as intended, you would need to start at the top of the screen for each of them. And so like the intended way to play this stage would be to loop around 3 times. But we skip one of those loops by doing that death warp. And so now we get this costume piece, and we're going to skip another loop with this little trick here. So we're going to run up against Sirius, and it's actually going to build us momentum on the ice. And after a little bit, we're able to get up that slope.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, usually we would have to start at the top of the screen and then run all the way up or run all the way down and use that momentum to get up. But that little kind of momentum build skips that step. So now I'm gonna kill another one of these enemies. This type of enemy is very nice. It has like that main body that you kill for one enemy, and then you get 2 additional little guys that spawn afterwards, and so it's kind of 3 enemy kills in one, and that makes this stage a whole lot less of a headache to get enemy kills for. Now, gonna have another one of those enemies here, and we're gonna get a gold card from that pillar that we just exploded. Oh boy, this is stressful. He's got to get that gold card. Okay. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. The little guys were just scattering around. It was so hard to navigate that situation because he He needed to grab that gold card before it disappeared because it would have been a bit of a time loss. And then the little enemies, on hard difficulty, enemies move very quickly, and those guys move super quick, and they're very small, and it's so hard to avoid them without killing them, but we didn't have enough time to kill them. So unfortunately, game over there, and so we're gonna have to do it all over again.
Well, that does give us some time. I imagine a lot of people have also noticed that, a theme of, going up a snowy mountain. Now we're on some floating icy platforms. Is there a story to this game that's sort of slowly unpacking that we're not seeing behind the scenes?
There's a loose story to this game. So the story, I guess, is that Altair and his kind of 4 lackeys have stolen the Omni Cube, which is this powerful cube, and they're using it to drain the power from these planets. And so we need to defeat the bosses, and that unchains the planet from the kind of chains of Altair, I guess. And so eventually we're gonna try to defeat Altair, and we have our friend Sirius. Sirius is the guy that we actually use to build up our momentum, and he's our friend. He's a really cool guy, and he kind of teaches us along the way, and he's gonna help us defeat Altair and take over the Omni Cube. Okay, that death warp, that one's intentional, just for anybody that forgot.
Okay,
so.
There was a moment I was just like, oh no, not again.
That one, we do that every time, again, to skip having to kind of do another loop through the stage.
Nice. Building up momentum again, I see.
Yep. Using our friend Sirius.
Whee. Oh, that is timed really well. Is there, if you waited there for longer, I assume it would build more momentum?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say Snake, I think, probably looks at the in-game timer when he kind of starts building up that momentum, and then adds maybe 10 seconds or something like that. And so you're able to kind of time it perfectly. And you can kind of build up a whole lot of momentum and really fly off the edge if you wanted to.
That's really smart.
All right, take 2 at this screen. Hopefully those split enemies are nicer this time. So we get that penguin enemy kill, and then we move over here. Okay, that was good. Big Bomb kind of bonked the main body. Okay, and now I think we're chilling. Very nice.
Yes, let's go.
Got a few more enemy kills. I didn't catch the number. You pause so quick in this game when you're checking your enemy count. So when you're not ready for it, you can't really see the number. But I assume he probably has 1 or 2 left to get to 30. So there's a couple penguins that are on this stage, or on this screen that we can get. One fun fact that isn't so fun is that there are enemies in this game that will run off the edge and just die. And so even though I've been talking about enemy kills and we need 30 of those, it's actually enemies defeated. And what that really means is enemies that die while you're on the screen. And so if an enemy runs off the edge and you have 29 enemy kills, the gold card for 30 enemies will just spawn off the edge, and you won't. You'll have to play through all over again, and it doesn't spawn again until another multiple of 30. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that, but it is a possibility in this run. Now we are just playing through the level again as quickly as possible. As a reminder, again, we kind of have to play the level twice because we can't kind of collect all the gold cards and costume pieces in under the target time. And so we collect everything in one go, and then on the next go, we just play through the level as quickly as possible. And hopefully he's gonna avoid this enemy here. Oh, well, maybe not avoid him. Just get him out of the way. There we go. That enemy can be quite difficult to deal with. These screens are very fun when you're doing any percent because you just walk forwards and the camera changes twice. Very good. Optimal gameplay.
So, yeah, it gives a bit of respite for the runners because it seems, I know we've only been through 2 levels, but it seems fairly fast paced in terms of, you know, getting through the levels. I mean, I guess you get a bit of a break here with the results screen.
Yeah, there's a little bit of downtime between each stage, so it's not too bad. All right, so now we're gonna see our first main boss, the spider or mantis, I don't know, but he has a few gold cards associated with him. So again, with main bosses, we also have some little objectives that we need to complete to get the gold cards. And so we have a gold card for burning his left claw, and then a gold card for burning his right claw. And so that's what we're gonna kind of do towards the start. And then there's also a gold card for burning his mask off. But at the start of the fight, we'll kind of try to damage those claws. We got some damage on the left claw there. And then there we just burned off the mask. We saw that gold card come through. And then we're going to keep trying to damage the claws. He gives us... It's a little difficult. You can hit both claws at once if you have like a very well positioned bomb, or if he swipes with both of his claws, but we haven't really gotten that pattern yet. Okay, so there's both of the claws, so now we have 3 of the gold cards. Then we're gonna wait for him to jump, damage him one more time, and then he's gonna break the ice, and that's another gold card. And then we kill him, and we have 1 remaining gold card, which is the target time gold card for completing the boss quickly. So,
nice.
Pretty good.
Oh. Bomberman looks so happy.
Yeah. Alright, so we've freed the chains of 1 level. Now we're on to Green Garden, which is kind of normally the first area. I didn't touch on this, but we can go to the 4 areas in any order that we want. But we start typically in White Glacier, the snow level, because of that kind of, if you remember, that remote bomb upgrade that we were searching for at the start of the first level is luck based, and so we kind of reset if we don't get that quickly, and for that reason we want to start there. It's also a good starting place because the White Glacier levels are quite difficult, whereas Green Garden isn't so bad. Gonna do a nifty little bomb trick here to get remote bombs. Just barely avoided the explosion there. That's a little bit spooky. But again, we have remote bombs, so now our bombs only explode when we hit the Z button, which can shave a whole lot of time off of killing a bunch of enemies. And we're gonna do a little bomb hop here towards this button. And so this stage, we have to hit all these 4 buttons, and then that kind of breaks that force field, and we're able to get to the crystal, which is the end of the level trigger. Another bomb jump there. The bomb jumps, they are kind of, it's a cool thing because bomb jumps are very much an intended kind of feature of this game. In order to like 100% this game, you do need to do some kind of like jumps across your bombs. And so the speed run, like, maybe they didn't envision all the ways that we do bomb jumps, but just doing those kind of tricks in general is very much an intended part of this game and part of what makes it so cool. So now, just gonna kill a couple more of these totem enemies. We again got the red bomb upgrade. The red bombs make it so our bombs deal double damage. And so some of these enemies, which we would have had to use 2 bombs to kill before, now we can only use 1, or we can kill them in just 1 bomb. And that kind of speeds up the clear of all these enemies quite a bit. Now we're going to get this gold card here, and there's going to be a costume piece over to the right, and it's kind of up in the air. It's in this box at like the top of the screen, and so we're going to use the big bomb and then kind of lift up the big bomb with some other small bombs, and that's going to get our explosion all the way up to the top of the screen and explode that box, which drops our costume piece down on our heads.
Wow.
And then just gonna kind of proceed through this room and kind of kill these totems. Again, trying to build up that 30 enemy kills before the kind of end of the level.
I've seen it being mentioned in chat, and I think I can definitely get behind chat on this one. That the music goes off on this game.
Yeah, it is very good. This track is definitely one of the best ones in this game as well.
I was about to say, is there a track that you'd say, watch this space? You gotta keep an eye out for this one. Keep your ears open.
I think this one and the next area, Blue Resort, are probably the two best tracks in the game.
All right.
Yeah, but it's good all throughout. Okay, so now we got to get up to this teleporter, and we're going to try to do this jump. This darn turtle guy is getting in the way here, but we're going to kind of build a little ladder for ourselves, or a little bit of a staircase. Just a little bit off on the spacing here. Might be able to make this work just with a different little launch. There we go.
Hey, nice.
Very nice.
And at least you're not permanently stuck in that position. For a second when he's just getting mashed, I was just like, oh no, is this where we live now?
Yeah, that would definitely be unfortunate, but very nice of this game. It kind of gives us a little bit of influence over our direction when we're kind of bouncing on bombs like that, so we're able to escape those scenarios without having to explode ourselves. So here we're going to use a big red bomb, which has a ginormous blast radius, and that kind of destroy those two pillars and allows us to get into this cage. So now we've hit all the 4 buttons, and that will kind of unleash this force field and open up ourselves to get to this crystal. I don't know what the lore behind the crystals are, but we need to get to them. So that's important, I guess. So now we're just kind of killing a few more enemies. I think probably within 2 or 3 of 30 at this point. And we collect one more gold card over here. Oh, nice. That was the 30th enemy, that little totem guy. And so we dropped the gold card, then we got the other gold card, and now we can just end the stage. Oh, okay. Wasn't sure if the egg enemy was going to get in the way there. So now, again, we gotta go back into the stage for a second time and play the level as quickly as possible. So we're just kind of gonna do the any % route and quickly get through the stage to get that last remaining gold card.
I think it's the case with, generally most 100% runs, but this is, I don't know, seems like a really good, exhibition of the game in terms of, showing off different tricks and, showing how fast it can go at its peak.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this run has a lot of kind of exclusive tricks to 100%. And that kind of allows a lot of cool stuff to showcase. And it's kind of an interesting routing showcase as well, of trying to route your enemies so that you get 30 enemies by the end of the level, which can kind of be a puzzle on its own. So those two things definitely make it a very cool category. Oh yeah, that's a good call out as well. In 100%, we get to the secret last area of the game, Rainbow Palace. And that level, especially the first level of that area, has a lot of interesting tricks. It is a very cool stage to try to 100%.
That's cool.
So now we cleared Green Garden 1, got everything to collect there, and we're going to move on to Sirius. So normally this is the first mini-boss, and this is Sirius. He's our friend, and he's just kind of going to test our strength and see how much we've learned. And so with Sirius, the mini-boss gold cards are pretty similar to each other, so we're going to hit him on the head with a big bomb. That's 1 gold card. And we're going to kick a bomb at him, and he invuln through it, but we'll get it here in a second. We're going to hit him with the explosion of a big bomb. There we go. And that's another gold card. And then now we just need to kill him without throwing him off the edge. Ooh, he's fighting back. Let's see if we can get him here with that last bomb. Very nice. Okay.
Hey.
And so the mini bosses, so there are 4 gold cards that are always the same for mini bosses, which are hitting them on the head with the big bomb, hitting them with the explosion of the big bomb, killing them without throwing them off the edge, and then the time card. And then each mini boss has 1 gold card that is specific to them. And it's usually like interrupting an attack or something like that. With Sirius, since he's the intro boss, it's just hitting him. You just kind of get it for free, basically. Okay, so Snake...
I have a feeling that we just saw an intentional death there, right?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Okay, good.
It'd be very scary if it wasn't. So we're going to do a trick in a bit that will make that intentional death make a bit more sense. So kind of wait until we get to that trick. But Green Garden 3, I guess I'll kind of get into this trick with this, is Green Garden 3 is one of the rare stages in this game that you are able to collect all the gold cards and costume pieces in just one playthrough of the stage. And the way that that's possible is we're going to try to do a glitch that freezes the in-game timer. And so we'll get into that in a bit. But we need to make sure that we're doing this first part of the stage relatively quickly. So we're going to collect remote bombs, which are necessary for that trick. And then we're going to run over here and collect this gold card that's over here. And then kind of run back towards the start of the screen, kill some enemies along the way to kind of get our enemy count up. And on the next screen is kind of where the magic hopefully will happen. Before that, we kill a couple more enemies, and now we can move on to the next screen. And before we do the glitch, again, we're just gonna clear some enemies. So the target time is 100 seconds. So we need to make sure that we do the glitch before 100 seconds, because if we froze the in-game time and it was over the target time, then that doesn't really help us at all. And so now, here's where the magic should happen. We are going to try to trigger 2 cutscenes on the same frame. And so we kind of set these 2 bombs up. Oh, in a little bit of trouble with the setup. I think he still has time if he's quick. Get the big bomb over there, and then... Let's see. I don't know. Oh, we got it. Very nice. Okay. So you trigger the 2 cutscenes of getting that crystal and blowing up that bridge on the same frame. And some weird stuff happens where you gain control of Bomberman during a cutscene, which isn't supposed to happen. And then you blow yourself up as Bomberman. And what normally would happen if you die in this game is that the timer stops. And then once you respawn, it plays a little jingle and it starts the timer back up. But because you died during a cutscene, the game doesn't have a chance to do the little jingle and start the timer back up. So it just stays frozen. And so now, unless we die, and it is a possibility, the timer should stay frozen at this 96 seconds mark. And so we'll be able to get the time card even with kind of playing through the whole stage and collecting everything. This is
that's handy because Yeah, I imagine after discovering that, you're just like, wow, you know, that saves. That would save so much time.
Yeah, it is massive. I believe it's over 2 minutes of time saved. So it very much changed the category quite a bit. And so that trick, like, it's not super hard. It is a frame perfect trick, kind of strictly speaking, but by the setup that we do, the only thing that we have to do is we have to hit B and Z on the same frame. And as long as we set it up correctly and we do that, then we're able to get the trick every time. So it's not incredibly hard, but it is a little bit tricky. I don't know what the setup is like on Wii U, but you know, hitting B and Z on the same frame on an N64 controller can be not the easiest thing, but it isn't too bad. So now we're just kind of trying to collect everything else that's remaining on this stage. So there's a gold card up here. Gonna kill a few enemies along the way. Do a bomb jump up here. And then get over here, which will get us to another gold card. Oh wow, very nice enemy spawn. I feel like I don't see that one often. Enemy spawns are like kind of random. I don't know if random is the right word, but they are very hard to predict sometimes. It's just based on like what's on the screen already. So if there's too many enemies on screen, then you won't get like an enemy spawn that you would normally see. So it is kind of a skill of like knowing where the enemies can spawn and knowing like if there are too many things on screen for them to spawn. But we were able to complete the level here, so we can see on this completion screen we got every single gold card and we got both costume pieces. So we 100% in the stage, no need for a second playthrough, and we're on to Dragon. So Dragon. So the gold cards for Dragon are to burn his left wing, burn his right wing, burn his head, and burn his tail. And so each of those have 2 health, so we need to hit them with 2 big bombs. On this bite attack, we're going to try to hit his head and his tail. We did that successfully there, very nice. Going to try to do that again on this bite. Nice, okay, so we burn the head and burn the tail. So now all that's remaining is to burn the wings. Okay, he gave us this swoop attack, and that will allow us to hit both wings simultaneously here, which is kind of nice. It is a slow attack to get, but it is also kind of nice to be able to hit both wings on one attack. Okay, now we're getting fire. So he burned the wing and did damage to him. Oh, and he burned the other wing afterwards. Wow, that was very nice. And then just 1 remaining bomb, and now he's dead. It was a super clean dragon fight.
Nice.
So now, another level cleared, and we are on to Blue Resort, which is another one of the best tracks in this game, I would say. I think this is probably my favorite. And yeah, on to Blue Resort 1, which is a pretty simple stage. I guess I didn't really explain earlier why Snake took that intentional death that brought him to 0 lives. It doesn't make a huge difference because if you're on 1 life when you do that time stop glitch, you will get down to 0 anyways, because the game will take away your life when you do that cutscene death. But if you're at 0, you'll stay at 0. And actually a pretty funny thing, if you do that glitch at 0 lives, the game won't be able to respawn another Bomberman, and so Bomberman will be on the screen with 0 health. Internally he has 0 health. And what happens if you take damage after having 0 health is your health value actually underflows to a very high number, like 2 to the 16th minus 1 or something like that. And so you effectively have infinite health, which sounds great. It sounds like, oh, we can never die again for the rest of the run. That would be great. But if you enter a mini-boss fight with infinite health, it just freezes. Like the mini-boss just won't move and they can't be damaged. So it's kind of a cool thing, that we thought was gonna like make the game so much safer. And then Foot Big Mike, the runner who discovered it, he did a run and then he entered the Artemis fight, and Artemis was just frozen. And so
Oh
his
no.
run was coulda killed there. So unfortunately, we're not able to make use of that infinite health glitch, but it is kind of a cool thing.
I was about to say, no one's on the hunt to like try and make a way for it to work. I imagine it's fairly like set in stone, you know, like if you can't do it this way, then you probably can't do it another way.
Yeah, I don't think that you will be able to do it a different way. What I imagine is happening, I don't know the internals, but I would imagine that the game is like checking your health value, and if it's something that isn't 2 or 1, then it's just like, okay, you can't do this, you're cheating.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that if you accidentally underflow your health value and set it to, you know, effectively infinite, if you pick up a heart, it just sets your health to 2, and so, you know, you don't get stuck in that infinite health state.
Okay.
So now we're going to collect this last costume piece here and do a bomb jump over and collect the red bomb upgrade. Even though it's the very end of this stage, this red bomb upgrade is still pretty nice because it allows us to blow up this this bridge here. Normally we'd have to pump up a bomb to blow up that bridge, and the big thing is that we're able to blow up this wall with that red bomb, and that will allow us to just kind of walk on in and hit this button, which will lower the bridge to the exit of the level. And so now we've gotten 4 of the 5 gold cards, and then both of the 2 costume pieces. We're able to end the stage, and then we're going to go back and complete the level in under the target time, which is 60 seconds. And so we're just going to do a quick speed run of the level. And so this level is a super quick level because we can just do a couple bomb jumps and basically skip everything. So we're going to kind of walk on over here and then set our position off of this box and then do this bomb jump here. Hopefully that blue enemy doesn't get in the way. He didn't. And then do another bomb jump there.
Nice.
And so something about bomb jumps is like this game is kind of on like things in this game are kind of positioned on tiles you can think of, where like one tile is a like, oh, what the heck happened there? One tile is like the diameter of Bomberman's shadow. And so if you get 3 tiles away from a wall, then you can easily bomb jump up it. That's just kind of the bomb jump spacing. And a lot of the kind of surfaces in this game, like those boxes, are set up in the perfect spacing. So we just kind of run up against them, and that sets our position perfectly to do a bomb jump, and we don't have to like manually position. All right, so now Artemis. This is a very tough mini boss fight. So we're gonna damage her first, and then we're gonna walk over here with a big bomb on our hands, hit her on the head with a big bomb and interrupt her attack. That's 2 gold cards. Hit her with the explosion of a big bomb. That's another gold card. And now we just need to kill her. Wow, okay. Super clean,
Wow.
very nice.
Pro.
Yeah. That boss fight, I feel like either goes one of 2 ways, and one is extremely well, like that, or it's an absolute disaster. Sometimes Artemis can kind of escape your initial like trap of bombs, or she'll just kind of move far away from you when she does her attack, and it makes the fight very hard to complete, because it's quite hard to hit her with the explosion of a big bomb without that kind of initial setup. But super well done by Snake there. So moving on here to Blue Resort 3. This stage can be a bit difficult because it's another one of the stages where we don't get remote bombs. And so for the whole stage, we're going to have just regular bombs where it explodes on a timer, compared to remote bombs, which we have in a lot of stages where we can blow up our bombs with the Z button. And so we need to kind of be more precise with our bomb kicks, because normally we can just kind of kick a bomb, oh no, kick a bomb in the area of an enemy and then explode it with Z and it'll work out. But here we need to kind of get it right next to the enemy so that after the timer it still hits them. Unfortunately, Snake took a little bit of damage there from the cannon. There are cannons in that screen that shoot where you are, and so if you kind of like retrace your steps, sometimes you end up getting hit by the cannon. Fortunately, he had a heart that he got from a butterfly earlier, so now he doesn't have a heart, but was able to avoid death from getting hit by the cannon, so that was nice. So we're just gonna kind of proceed, trying to collect all the rest of the gold cards. There's another gold card here, and then we're gonna try to kill this fish in the water. Just barely didn't get him there. Those fish, they can swim kind of all over the place, and so you just gotta pump up a big bomb and hope that it hits them. Gonna kill that red enemy to kind of make up some of the enemy kills. Okay, very nice. The fish was just right in the way that time, so that was good. So now Snake has 19 enemy kills. Again, he pauses sometimes to check his enemy count just to make sure that he knows when he's going to get the 30th one. And there's another enemy over here if you can get it. Very nice, yeah, got it. Like, set down that bomb at the spawn point of a fish enemy and then walked off screen so the fish would actually spawn, and then the fish spawned right next to his bomb and got an enemy kill, which is very nice.
Nice.
So now we're just gonna build up a couple more enemy kills, hopefully get a heart off of this butterfly. Oh, barely didn't get him there. There we go. Get the heart there and kill a couple more enemies before we move on to the next part of the screen. I didn't catch what the enemy count was. It was too fast, but probably at 26 or 27. I think that was 26. So we need a few more enemy kills, and there is also another costume piece that we need to get on this screen. So we're going to, first we're going to kill this enemy. Here we go. Okay, 2 more, I think. And then we're going to set that bomb up. Oh, I think he did that in the wrong order. So there, that first big bomb blew up a flower pot that contains a costume piece. And so the costume piece showed up and then actually disappeared, and so he wasn't quite able to pick it up there. But we can pick it up on the next playthrough of the stage. And then killed the 30th enemy there to get the gold card. And so now we've gotten 4 of the 5 gold cards, and we've gotten 1 of the 2 costume pieces. And so we'll need to collect that costume piece during the second part of the stage, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's just kind of in the way. So now, let's see this level done super quickly. Well, super quickly with 1 detour to collect that remaining costume piece that we have to get. So we're gonna do, oh, this red guy's getting in the way. What a jerk. So we want to run up against that fence because it sets our initial position for this bomb jump here. So we don't have to kind of manually set it up at all. Then we're gonna blow up that flower pot again. There we go. And now we've got that, we get that costume piece. And
nice.
We're good to go. Oh, messed up a little bit there, but this should work. Bomb jump up, and then do another bomb jump up to the end of the stage. And so normally, for what it's worth, the kind of intended, I guess quote unquote intended way of beating the stage is there is like this wall that you push back, and then it like raises up a staircase to the ending of that level rather than doing a bomb jump. But you know, if you know how to bomb jump, don't have to do any of that, which is quite nice. Alright, moving on to Fish. So at the start of this fight, we're going to start damaging his little dangly tentacle here. And so we're going to do 3 damage to it before he goes down, hopefully. Okay, only got 2, but that should be fine. So we're going to get a gold card here for throwing a bomb in his mouth. That's 1 gold card. Going to hit the tentacle again, and then we're going to hit the tentacle with 1 more big bomb, and that should explode it. Very nice. And so he can't do that attack that he just did anymore after we've exploded his tentacle. Now we need to do damage to his tail, and that takes 4 big bombs to fully burn his tail. We got 2 there. Sometimes you can get an additional hit during the bubbles, but it is quite difficult. And so now, hopefully, okay, very nice. We got the attack we wanted again, and we're going to hit the tail 2 more times. Oh no! No! Oh my god, that was so unlucky. So the bubbles that come out from Fish's tail knock you back if they hit you, and the bubbles just kind of positioned perfectly, hit Snake once, and then it chained perfectly into another bubble, and right off the edge.
Oh, savage.
Quite
literally. Okay, because this is called what? Sewer Savage?
Yeah, it is called Sewer Savage. I thought you were doing that intentionally.
Poetic.
Alright, take number 2. See. Okay, this time, still getting knocked back from the bubbles, but not getting comboed as much this time, so we're chilling.
Okay. We believe.
So we'll see what attack we get here. Okay, so we get the attack where he opens his mouth. We're going to throw a big bomb in there. That gives us a gold card. Now we're going to blow up the tentacle because we don't want to get that attack anymore. And that gives us a gold card for blowing up the tentacle.
Nice.
And now... oh, dang. Got unlucky here. So he has 2 remaining attacks at this point. One is this cutter attack, and then one is the bubbles that he did earlier. You want to get the bubbles to burn his tail. This cutter attack is very slow. It wastes like 20 seconds, and the only gold card associated with the cutter attack is cutting your raft down to only 1 log, which you could theoretically do right that first attack that he gives you, but you don't want to be on 1 log when he does this bubble attack. As you might imagine, if you get hit by a single bubble when you have 1 log, you're just gonna go right off the edge. So now, the only remaining attack he has is that cutter attack, and so we're just going to cut our raft down to 1 log. That's our last gold card. And then after every attack, Fish always comes back to his kind of initial position, and so we're going to hit him with a big bomb. And there we go.
Nice. And I believe this is a moment that was called out for Moogle that we will take our break.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, folks, at around this point in our shows, if you've got a run that's going to take a little bit of a while, we traditionally have a moment where we have a break. So we're going to pause the timer, and we are going to take 5 minutes just to, cool down a little bit. And if you have the chance to do so and opportunity to do so, if you can, get up, have a stretch. Make sure that you're staying hydrated as well. And we will be continuing the rest of this run. But if you've just flown in from a raid, or you've only just come across the channel, first of all, welcome. But if you're wondering, what have I missed of this run? You can catch this run on YouTube, and yeah, it won't take long until it'll be up on that channel. But if you're watching us on YouTube, hello. You should come and join us on Twitch. You can see the runs as they're happening live and join the hype. I'm sure the chat will love to see you there. I know that I would. But everybody, join us after this break, and we'll be back very, very soon. See you in a sec. And the Games Done Quick channel. This is the GDQ Hotfix, where we show off various different themes, episodes of speedrunning content and speedrun adjacent content. We had some bingo action the other day happening on Game Masters, I believe. So if you want to see, what's been happening in this episode or happening around all of the different Hotfix episodes, you can check them out on our YouTube. But before we go back into going places, we've got some news. Games Done Quick is hiring, y'all. This is a chance for anyone, if they have experience in website design and development, and they'd like to help overhaul our website. We also have social media openings as well as hosting and volunteering to make that happen. But if you want to read up on any of this, find out anything more, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs website to apply. Little reminder that this is going places. This is the hotfix where we're going places for two reasons. We're going places to enjoy the video games that we can play whilst we're going places, and then we can find games at the places that we have gone to. So games that didn't receive global releases. I know I mentioned this at the start. This one has kind of tripped me up, but it's a very good game regardless. So we are watching Bomberman 64. Moogle Snake has already been taking us through this game very, very well, and we're about to see what the rest of 100% has in store for us. And we will once again be joined by our lovely commentator. I've been seeing chat showing a lot of love for Lively. So Lively, welcome back.
All right. Hello. Let's get on into Red Mountain. All right. I will give a quick countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Moogle.
Good luck. Now we're entering Red Mountain. We're full on lives, 2 lives, so we're not at danger of game overing anytime soon, hopefully. That's good. And we'll be kind of going through these Red Mountain stages, which can be a little bit spooky because there is lava, and so there's a lot of places to fall off an edge and end up in the lava. But Snake is a great gamer, so probably not going to be seeing any of that. So this first part of the stage, we're actually just kind of running on over towards the end of the stage to get the red bomb upgrade as soon as possible. And so that's in this little pillar here that we're going to destroy. There we go. And so the red bomb upgrade, as a reminder, it makes our bombs stronger. And so now we're killing enemies in 1 hit that we would normally have to get 2 bombs for. And one additional thing is that red bombs are able to explode some textures that normal bombs aren't. So that little grate in front of this cave, normally we wouldn't be able to get into this cave with normal bombs, but with red bombs we're able to blow up that kind of metal grate and move on forwards and get that costume piece that's hanging out in there. And so now we're gonna run on over here and try to get remote bombs. Very nice. And so remote bombs again allow us to explode our bombs using the Z button rather than having to wait for a 3-second timer. And so that's very nice in terms of killing enemies and doing some cool tricks. Speaking of cool tricks, I have no idea why this one works, but you hold the bomb on that ledge and it just kind of bounces you up. And it's a very cool little jump there. Allows us to get into this cave. And so these caves are quite nice for 2 reasons. They have the gold cards and costume pieces in them, so we have to be in them. But they also have these enemies that are 3 enemy kills in 1, basically, because you kill the first body and it spawns 2 more guys. And so you get 3 enemy kills in total, and that allows us to kind of rack up our enemy kill count and quickly get towards the 30 enemies that we need for that gold card. So 1 more cave here. We need to get 1 more remaining costume piece and then kill a few more enemies to kind of get our enemy count up towards 30. So now we have, I believe, 28. And we'll move on and start kind of heading towards the end of the level and collect a couple more things along the way. Okay, opting to stay at 28 enemy kills. We'll see which enemies Snake decides to take out for his 30th here. So we get that blue enemy, and I think we'll probably get 1 more on the next screen, and we'll get to 30. Need to be slightly careful here. There's this fireball there. Again, just kind of waiting for it. Very good. And now we're gonna move on up, get this last blue enemy for 30 enemy kills. Now we need to be careful. These slopes have these fireballs that come up occasionally, and so we're just kind of wait them out and make sure that we're safe and not getting hit, and then proceeding upwards and getting on over to where the last gold card is. And now we've collected 4 of 5 gold cards, and we've collected both costume pieces, and so we can end the stage for our first playthrough by hitting these 3 switches, and then that lowers the level exit. And so now we're done with the first playthrough of the stage, and we have to play through once again to get the gold card for completing the level in under the target time.
Nice.
Yeah, and now just gonna run through this level super quick. This level is pretty straightforward. I figure maybe a good time to talk about this game's inclusion on the show. So a note about this game, and it can be quite confusing, so I understand how this happened for sure, is that this game had a worldwide release. So this game is an N64 game that came out in 1997. It released in the US, EU, and Japan. But in Japan, it's called Baku Bomberman, whereas in the US, it's called Bomberman 64. And then in 2001, there was another game released for exclusively in Japan that was called Bomberman 64. And so there are technically 2 games referred to as Bomberman 64. One is an exclusive port, and then this one, which is not. But it is on the Wii U, which is, portable within like 20 feet of the system. So maybe.
Ooh, I think 20 feet is being generous. But I appreciate the I appreciate the sympathy in trying to get this on. But hey, I don't know. We'll let the Wii U slide.
Yeah, for today, we'll let it slide. Alright, so now moving on to Orion. So 2 gold cards right off the bat for hitting him on the head with a big bomb and hitting him with the explosion of a big bomb. And then we get another gold card for getting hit by the green attack. Usually the gold cards specific to a boss are like interrupt their attack, but for Orion it's getting hit and letting yourself get stunned. Normally what happens if you get hit by that green attack, he stuns you and then he tries to pick you up and throw you off the edge. So you have to make sure that you're kind of in a safe place before you get hit by it. And now we've gotten all the kind of gold cards we need. We just need to take care of killing Orion, which can be quite difficult. He's a bit elusive. There we go. So that's all 4 of the gold cards, and then we get 1 more gold card for completing the stage in under the target time, and that's all 5.
Nice.
All right, then moving on to Red Mountain 3. This stage, this kind of first screen has these railways that have these minecart enemies, so you have to be cautious of those, but gonna take care of those and then get this remote bomb upgrade. So now our bombs only explode when we hit the Z button rather than blowing up on a timer. And so we're easily able to kind of take care of that last minecart enemy there before he runs us over. See if we're able to get another enemy kill here. Wasn't sure if he got it or not, but sometimes you can get another enemy kill there at the start of that screen. Here, this can be pretty scary, these little kind of boulders running down this slope. They are kind of on a set pattern-ish, so you can usually avoid them if you're kind of familiar with their pattern, but can definitely be a little bit of a scary area, especially when you don't have a heart, which Snake does not have right now, so any damage would be lethal. But was able to avoid all the rocks, so that's very good, and got that gold card there by hitting that button. And so now we're done with that screen, and we're going to move on over to this little barrel here that's kind of floating in the air. It holds a costume piece, and so we just let that fall on our heads there. And then we're going to make our way to the next screen, and we're eventually going to make our way to another cave, much like the areas in Red Mountain 1 where we entered a bunch of those caves. there's a bunch of those enemies that are 3 enemy kills in 1, and that's basically how we bolster our enemy count and quickly get to around 30 enemies. We're going to do a bomb jump up to this barrel, and then blow up the grate, and now within here we're going to kill a whole bunch of enemies and collect this last costume piece. So we want to get our enemy count to around like 23, 24-ish. Before kind of moving on out of this. See if any of these guys group together. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, they were able to kill a whole lot of enemy kills. Just in kind of 2 bombs there, just because of the way that those guys grouped up. Now we're kind of moving towards the end of the stage. We've collected most of the things that we need to collect. There's just a few remaining gold card, or I think there's 1 remaining gold card that we need to get, and then the enemy gold card. And so we're just gonna kind of run on over here, and we get to this railway, and at the end of this railway is a gold card, and so we just need to kind of watch out for the minecart enemies, which are on kind of a set timer. So we're gonna kick a bomb right here, get this minecart enemy, and then move on over here, and there we go, get the gold card. I'm not sure what his enemy count is, but I think pretty close to the 30 enemy gold card here. So just need probably 1 or 2 more. Get this red enemy, and that's 30, okay. And he drops the gold card, we get that, and now we just need to end the stage. So we're going to run across this kind of railway here. One nice thing is that we got the red bomb upgrade, which allows us to kill those minecart enemies with just a small bomb. One thing I didn't explain, I don't think, is if you hold a bomb in your hands and then mash A, that pumps it up to be a stronger bomb with a bigger explosion that also does more damage.
Ah, that's the mechanic.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So this is a game that can be kind of intense on your arms or wrists, because we have to mash quite a bit to pump up those bombs. So now
we've got some fans in the chat of the lava that looks like I see it too. It does look like it is beans.
Yeah, I see that for sure. So now we just need to complete this level as quickly as possible to get the last remaining gold card for completing the level in under the target time. Should be pretty simple. There is kind of there are a couple enemies that are a little scary here. We'll see how Snake is able to traverse this. We need to kind of destroy these pillars to drop down this last part of the railway. Okay. Gonna take out that blue enemy, and I think that's a smart call. Oh gosh, okay. Things are getting a little crazy now. He needs to blow up those last 2 pillars on the right side while avoiding these. No, it's so unfortunate.
Oh no.
Yeah, that is the tricky part of this stage, is that last part. Those 2 blue enemies on hard difficulty, they are very quick and can kill you super fast. Oh yeah, I think that's probably well, I wonder, it's probably a close call. So I think Snake is taking an intentional game over here because he he died there, and so he'd have to make it all the way back up. And by the time he made it back up, he might miss the gold card. So the target time for that level is 90 seconds. And he was at, I think it was like 50 or 60. And so it would have been cutting it kind of close if he tried to just finish the stage out. So taking an intentional game over for safety. And so now we'll run it back, and hopefully the blue enemies are a bit nicer this time.
Yeah.
There is actually a way to skip kind of lowering this bridge entirely. You can do a bomb jump from like the railway onto the floating platform, which is the stage exit, but it is probably the hardest trick in the run, and people don't go for it in 100%. It's kind of an exclusive any percent trick because it only saves around like 10 seconds, which in 100% isn't massive. And considering the risk, you fall in the lava if you miss it, you don't really go for it. But that time, blue enemies were a lot nicer to Snake. Didn't have to deal with them quite as much, and so moving on. So here's Hades. So gold cards for Hades, you get 1 gold card for blowing up his left hand, 1 gold card for blowing up his right hand, and then 1 gold card for blowing up his hat, and then 1 gold card for throwing a bomb in the little hatch on his body. So at the start of this fight, trying to do damage to the hands. Oh, very nice pattern here. We get the spin. That will allow us to hit the hat, hopefully. Didn't quite hit it on that first one, I don't think. Okay, got 1 damage there. There we go. Blew up the hat. So that's 1 gold card. Now we need to blow up the hands. It's just 1 hit remaining, I think, on this last hand. Once he stops punching us, we'll be able to take that down. There we go. And now we have 1 remaining gold card for throwing a bomb in his hatch. So he's going to go under the lava, and then we stun him, hit him, and then we can throw a bomb in there, or we can even just kick it. And that gives us that last remaining gold card, and now we're able to blow him up, and that's the end of the fight. Very nice. And so that is the first 4 areas all down, and that allows us to get to the 5th area, which is Black Fortress. If you're doing an 80% run in this game, this would be the final area. But because we're doing 100%, we actually have 1 more area after this. Ooh. So Black Fortress 1, this stage is another rare instance where we're able to get all the gold cards and all the costume pieces in only 1 playthrough of the stage. And this time, we don't have to do a glitch to do it. So it is a little bit tight, but this stage, interestingly, actually only has 2 costume pieces. So normally stages have it has 1 costume piece. Normally stages only have 2, but this one only has 1, and then Black Fortress 3 has 3 costume pieces because Black Fortress 3 is a massive stage, and this stage is pretty small, so they only put 1, and that will help us be able to kind of complete this without having to play it a second time as long as everything goes well. So we're kind of getting these gold cards here, 1 more gold card in this little pillar. That's 3 of those gold cards down. And now we need to collect the 1 costume piece, which is in this little this box up top. So we're gonna bomb jump up, and the bomb is gonna kind of explode the box. Gonna wait for the bus here so we don't get ran over. And now we can kind of cross the road and go up towards the last area. So you might notice that Snake hasn't killed any enemies yet. And that's because there's a mini boss on this stage that spawns a lot of enemies. So we're going to collect the red bombs and the remote bomb upgrade. So red bombs make our bombs do more damage. And an additional thing of red bombs that we haven't seen yet is when you collect extra firepower upgrades like Snake just did with red bombs, it can make your bomb even bigger. So normally, with normal bombs, your bombs are capped at 2 firepower, but with red bombs, I think that goes up to 5. So we're able to get our bombs even bigger. So when he explodes this bomb, you'll see it is quite large. And that allows us to hit all 3 compartments of this mini boss at the same time. And this boss has kind of 3 parts. So we're going to destroy these left and right parts before we destroy the middle. And we're kind of getting enemy kills as we go. And at the very end, we're going to leave only the middle component of this mini boss. And that's going to kind of allow us to just farm enemy kills. So normally, if you're not just constantly hitting this boss, the left and right side would like shoot these little blue orbs at you. And if you get closer, the middle component will target you and then shoot you. But if you stay at a distance, the middle component won't do anything other than spawn enemies. And so we're just gonna sit here and kick bombs until we get the 30 enemy kills and spawn the gold card. And as long as we don't move forwards, the mini boss will not do anything other than spawn more enemies. So he pauses to check his enemy count. I didn't see what it was, but I assume he's getting pretty close now to 30. Now this will be 30. Oh, I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh no. Okay, so he gets the 30 enemy gold card. It's gonna go to him during the cutscene, so he just collected it. I think is he gonna make it? Oh no. It's so unfortunate.
Oh.
So the target time for this level is 180 seconds. Snake just completed it in 180.31 seconds.
That is so mean.
Yeah. So that is quite unfortunate. So we are going to have to play through that level a second time to complete it as quickly as possible. But this, is actually kind of a nice thing because it's going to let us show off a glitch that we normally wouldn't see in 100%. So he's going to collect this heart and then exit the stage. And so the quickest way to do this stage is actually doing a glitch that skips that mini boss. And so we collected that stage or that heart to be able to do it. And so now we're back to Black Fortress 1 and we're just going to complete it as quickly as possible. We have all the gold cards and costume pieces other than the target time gold card, which we just missed by a third of a second, which is super unlucky. And so now we're gonna just kind of blitz through the stage and get back to the ending, and then we're gonna do a pretty cool glitch that allows us to skip the mini boss. The stage is pretty simple. I don't think I mentioned this before, the kind of car and buses, they're on a set cycle, so it goes like bus on the left and then car on the left and then bus on the right, car on the right, or something similar to that. So yeah, we don't have any kind of randomness to deal with there. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Just barely messed up his bomb jump setup. Oh my, what is happening?
That's harsh.
Everything's ganging up on Snake right now. So he barely missed his bomb jump the first time, and that lost him his heart. And then he got up on the bomb jump, but this jerk snake or plane enemy was ready for him, and he immediately swooped and killed him. Hopefully he lets him. Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
This time we're chilling. Okay, so this time we're not going to be able to see that glitch, unfortunately, because he lost his heart. So we're just going to have to fight this mini boss the old-fashioned way. Interesting, okay. So he's getting red bombs and remote bombs, and we're going to take on this mini boss head on and hopefully just... Oh, never mind. Okay, he's getting crazy with it. I love this. Okay, so this is a very old strat for completing this level as quickly as possible. We do a very big bomb jump. And so the mini boss trigger is like a little bit ahead, like it's the middle of the screen. And so if we jump all the way to the end, then boom, we just skip the mini boss.
You love to see it.
I totally forgot that strat existed. That used to be in like 2013. That used to be the any percent strat for that level, but we found a glitch that kind of lets us just hover over the mini boss trigger basically, which kind of obsoleted that strat. But that strat's so cool. I'm very glad that we got to see that. All right, Harvester. This is the worst guy. I don't like this guy. So this boss can kind of move all around the screen, and we're only able to move and kick bombs in 8 directions in this game, and so it can be kind of awkward to even hit him. And then he has a lot of attacks that are difficult to deal with. But the gold cards that we need to get for this stage. We need to blow up his left arm, blow up his right arm, and then blow up this orb. So we blew up that orb, that's 1 gold card. He already blew up the left arm, which was another gold card. Now he just blew up the right arm, that's 1 more gold card. And so there's 1 remaining gold card. There we go, for blowing up his faceplate, and then we kill him. That was an absurd fight.
Wow.
That was so good.
Yeah, before the run, like we were talking with Mugo, and I was just like, all right, what's the what are you gonna be hoping goes really well in the run? Because apparently, yeah, I mean, you just mentioned that can be an absolute pain. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was incredible. It's very difficult to just do that fight, getting all the gold cards without dying, honestly. And so doing it also in 45 seconds is a pretty absurd time to get. So that was super clean. So now we're moving on to Black Fortress 3. This is, I think, the longest stage in the game. It is a very big stage. And so right off the bat, we've collected the remote bomb upgrade, and now we've got the red bomb upgrade. So now our bombs deal double damage from the red bombs, and we explode our bombs with Z rather than having to wait on the timer. And so that's going to help us a whole lot through the rest of the stage. It's a bit of a labyrinth, so we're just going to navigate through it while trying to get enemy kills as we go, such as killing those kind of lane enemies, and then killing this UFO, maybe? UFO was a bit of a jerk there, kind of moved away, but there we go. Able to kill the UFO and harvest his heart. And so now we're a little bit safer. If we get hit by an explosion, we will live through it, but we are still prone to falling off an edge. So now we're gonna navigate towards the kind of main part of this stage, which is a big kind of maze area. Taking the elevator up, and then we have to kind of go in a specific order in a specific direction to kind of get towards an area where there's more collectibles to be had. This big bomb hopefully should kill 2 enemies. Yeah, very nice. So you actually only saw 1 enemy on screen there, that purple enemy, but as you kind of walk forwards, another enemy spawns behind you, and so you're able to get a second enemy kill out of that. So here we've navigated towards the area I was talking about, where there's some collectibles that we need to get. Setting our kind of initial position for this bomb jumping up. And now from here, kill this enemy, and then we have a gold card in these boxes. There we go, and now we can bomb jump right back up again. Very nice. Those bomb jumps can be slightly tricky because there isn't a great visual cue or like anything to run up against to set your position, so you have to do them a bit more manually. So pretty clean there from Snake. And so now, navigating down here, very nice, and getting this additional heart and this costume piece. The heart doesn't do anything because we already have a heart. They don't stack, unfortunately, but we do need that costume piece. You did see there was a firepower drop, and Snake just picked it up and threw it away. So he could pick it up and it would make his explosions even bigger, but generally not a great idea to do for a stage like this, because if you were to die, you would lose your remote bomb upgrade, and you would keep that like empowered red bomb. And what would happen is if you do a bomb jump and you have those empowered red bombs, the bomb actually hits you and you take damage from it. So you don't really want to get additional firepower. So now we're making our way back down. It looks a little bit scary, but you know, all these falls are very much intentional, and kind of make our way going towards the end of the stage. So where we were before is like a little bit of a side area. And so now we're kind of going towards the any % route, I suppose. And gonna kill a few more enemies along the way. I think he probably has around like 20 something enemy kills at this point. So gotta get a few more until 30. This room, we hit that button and that kind of makes that little bridge that we just crossed. Then we hit this 4 button and that makes another bridge that we'll see in a little bit. Get this gold card here, bomb jump back up, and then there's a costume piece hidden inside this box. This is one that is very easy to forget about when you're doing your run, so very good that Snake's got it there. I've definitely forgotten that one myself before. Now we're making our way across, doing that bomb jump there. This little bridge here was the result, that like purple bridge was the result of hitting that 4 switch before. And now we're making our way up. And there's actually another thing where, because we hit the 3 switch, this bridge up here is activated, right over here to the left. And that allows us to get this costume piece right there. So that can be a bit of a tricky puzzle to navigate with all the buttons going on, but very good there. And now, not sure what his enemy count is at, but I imagine it's like 28, 29-ish, so only have to kill a couple more enemies and we'll be good through this stage. There's always this one green enemy that's very close here. Nice, okay, that was his 30th. He got the gold card there. And now we're just able to run to the end of the stage and end it out. And we've gotten 4 of the 5 gold cards and all 3 of the costume pieces. Because again, because the stage was so big, they decided to put 3 costume pieces as opposed to 2 in it. And then 1 in the earlier Black Fortress 1 stage. So now we are playing the level again to get the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. This is the longest stage, so if we ever found a gold card duplication glitch, this would be the one that we would skip, is redoing this stage. But alas, we have not found it yet. A fun note on that, as we go through this stage, is there have been attempts at trying to get like a gold card duplication glitch because, as I noted earlier, so the enemy card drops when you get 30 enemy kills, but it also drops at 60 and 90. And so what you can do is spawn the 30 enemy gold card and keep throwing it around so it doesn't despawn, and then kill 30 more enemies. And so you can have the 30 enemy card and the 60 enemy card on screen at the same time. But if you collect them both, it's just the same as collecting one of them, which was a very disappointing result to find. But there's been attempts at finding gold card duplication glitches, but not quite yet. Oh, these enemies can be a real trouble there. But able to kick bombs into them and just throw them off the edge to get them out of our way and proceed. Oh my, this enemy positioning is so tricky. Okay, there we go. Usually that enemy kind of sticks to one side of that walkway, but that time he was kind of in the middle and a little bit harder to avoid. Maybe could have avoided it on like the very edge of the walkway, but Snake instead opted to just kind of walk back and make sure that he wasn't getting hit, which a smart decision. See if Snake's able to pull off this glitch here, or this trick here. Not a glitch. Very nice. So normally to blow up that wall, you have to use a big bomb. And so the way that you would do it in like a casual playthrough is you would like pump up a bomb, make it a big bomb, throw it against the wall, and then wait until the big bomb explodes. But Snake did a nifty thing there where he kicks a bomb, and then before the fuse of the kick bomb goes off, he pumps up a bomb in his hands, and then he throws the pumped up bomb into the explosion of the kick bomb, and that kind of chain reactions the big bomb, and that explodes the door, or the wall, just slightly quicker than if you just used a pumped up bomb. Oh. Alright, now Altair. Usually the final boss of an any percent run, but will not be the final boss for us. So Altair has 2 phases. The first phase, there are no gold cards other than a time card, so completing the level in under the target time. And so there he goes. That's phase 1 down. And so phase 2 has the rest of the gold cards. So on phase 2, you need to hit him on the head with a big bomb, hit him with the explosion of a big bomb, kill him without throwing him off the edge, and then there's another target time card.
I'll finish you.
So at the start of this fight, we're going to kick a bomb into him, and then try to get a pumped up bomb into that kick bomb. Just a little too slow there, but that's okay. Now, we need to hit him on the head with a big bomb, which can be tricky. Oh, very nice. Okay. Not tricky for Snake. And so we were able to hit him on the head with a big bomb, which is a gold card, and then we threw him into the explosion of a big bomb, which is another gold card. And now we just need to kill him. And I think that bomb... Oh no, one more bomb will do it. And that should be that. Very nice.
You pay.
Alright, and so... Normally this would be the end of the game, but if you've collected all the gold cards up to this point, then Sirius should interrupt this cutscene. There he is. Or here he comes. There we go.
Ooh. Here we go.
And so Sirius, our friend, well, unfortunately, he's not so much of a friend.
No.
He was actually, I think the lore is that he was the original holder of the Omni Cube. And they stole it from him, and now he's stealing it back to take over the world. And he, well, there goes Altair. Sorry, Altair. And now Sirius flies on up to Rainbow Palace, secret last area. This stage, Rainbow Palace 1, is probably the coolest stage in the run, I would say. There's a lot of floating platforms that we have to do bomb jumps to, which can be quite difficult. So we're going to start off with a kill of that enemy. Oh, and the moonwalk. Very nice.
Ooh. You love to see it.
Oh, wow, that was really good luck. Okay, so these pillars have a random chance to give remote bombs, and sometimes you can blow up every single pillar on this screen without getting remote bombs. And Snake got remote bomb upgrade on his very first bomb there, so that was very nice. And so that is a necessary upgrade to get in this stage because we have to do a lot of tricks that require remote bombs. Just because if we didn't have remote bombs, then our bombs would blow up before we were able to like jump off of them. So we got that gold card on this screen as well as the costume piece in the corner. And so we're back to the previous screen, which has a lot of stuff that we need to collect on here. Gonna kill this cloud enemy and this gold enemy over here, and then walk over, kill this green enemy. Oh, kill the cloud enemy and then kill the green enemy. And then we need to clear that pillar for later. We're gonna do a bomb jump around there. And, okay, gonna get one more additional enemy kill here. Okay, gonna do this part of the stage first. So we're gonna jump on over to this floating platform. And so normally when we do bomb jumps, we need like a wall to stun ourselves off of. But a nifty trick is that if you position yourself in a pretty precise position next to a bomb and then kick a bomb into it and pick up a bomb, the bomb will bounce on top of the other one, and we can use that to damage or to hit ourselves back and do a bomb jump without a wall. Because normally we would have to kind of put down a bomb, run up against a wall, and then throw that bomb on the wall. But with this trick, we don't have to do that, and it looks very cool.
Wow.
Very nicely done. That was all super clean. So now we're gonna bomb jump up here, kill a couple enemies, and then we're gonna want to hit this button, which will kind of allow us to exit the stage after doing some more stuff. Is that gonna work? Yeah, very nice.
Wow.
Now we're gonna bomb jump up to this pillar, It was very important earlier when we were killing some enemies over here. We needed to make sure that we didn't destroy that pillar so we could bomb jump off of it. And now we're going to do some bomb jump setup here. You jump across these platforms, and while we're going across, we're also kind of setting up our exit. And so now we can just kind of run back across on these bombs that we've set up.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So now we've collected, I think, everything we need to collect other than the enemy card. So we're just going to kill some enemies. He pauses so quick, I didn't see. But yeah, only a few more enemies, I think, remaining. So we're just going to kill these enemies over on the side. Oh, wow. Very nice. And now we can just do a little jump over here to get to the exit. Oh, there it is, easily. Wow, that was super clean. 204 is a crazy time for that stage. Very nicely done. And so now we've gotten 4 of the 5 gold cards and both the costume pieces. We just need the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. And so we're going to play through the stage one more time, super quickly. So we're going to jump up here, and we're going to do another bomb jump up to this button, if this cloud will allow it. Yeah, probably a good call to take out the cloud. I'll have to deal with him. And then hitting the button allows us to get to the exit of the stage, and then we're just going to do those couple jumps over and do that same thing we did at the end of the last playthrough. And there we go.
Nice.
All right, and now Harvester, we said earlier, the worst part of the run, a real jerk. This guy's a close second. So this is Spellmaker.
Okay.
He has a lot of random attacks. So at the start of the fight, he has, I believe, 3 attacks. And one of those we need to see for a gold card. He needs to give us the hand, and we need to put a bomb in his hand. So we're going to wait until we get that attack. Unfortunately, didn't get it first try. We'll see. Okay, second try, not bad. Put a bomb in the hand, that's a gold card. Okay, so now the tough part starts. We need to burn his head and burn his cape. Okay, we burned his cape there while he was underground, but we didn't quite burn the head because he moved away a little too quickly. Getting that bomb to explode in such a way that it'll burn his head is probably the hardest part of this fight. That might work depending on how he moves. Very nice. Okay. So then, all we need to do from here is kill him. We have all the gold cards. He actually gives us one for free at the start of the fight. And sometimes he does an attack where he drops power-ups. And if you take a power-up from his drop, then he takes away one of your gold cards. But we probably won't see that attack.
Ooh.
Just need one more hit on him here. And that was very nice. Another pretty clean fight. He's kind of a cheater. He keeps doing his attack after he's died, so you just need to kind of wait it out a bit, but
Oh,
good stuff. All right, Rainbow Palace 3. This stage is pretty cool. This is another stage that we're able to do in one playthrough without any glitches. So this one is pretty lenient. We'll see how it goes. But before we do the stuff inside, we need to go outside, do a couple jumps here, and we're gonna get the remote bomb upgrade. So now our bombs explode only when we hit the Z button. And then we're gonna do a jump up here to get this gold card as well as this costume piece. Oop. And then we need to make our way back, doing a couple more jumps here. Very nice, okay. And now we're back inside, and there's some luck that happens in this stage. Hopefully it goes well. So, first of all, we're gonna kill that enemy over there, but these enemies, these guys take forever to kill. I forget how much health they have. They have like 1 billion. And oh wow, that was so nice. Okay, so they have a random chance to drop a red bomb upgrade, And sometimes you can go through this whole stage without getting a single one of those enemies to drop a red bomb upgrade. And Snake got it there on the first enemy, which is super nice. Because, as a reminder, the red bombs make it so your bombs do double damage. And so now we're killing enemies twice as quick. Which is super nice. Oh, the gem got in his way. I don't think I've talked about gems. It's because they're not notable at all. So gems drop, like sometimes when you destroy a box or when you kill an enemy, a gem will drop. And if you get 50 gems, you get an extra continue, which is basically useless. Because first of all, you're usually not going to game over that many times that we would need an extra continue. But even so, if you run out of continues in this game, the only thing that makes it different from a normal game over is that you have to recollect your power-ups. So an extra continue really doesn't help too much at all, but you know, it is a thing that you can do. So this stage, it's a pretty kind of basic like flow through this stage. Is we are going to kill a bunch of enemies until there isn't really any enemies left on the screen, and then we're going to hit one of the 4 buttons. And once we hit all 4, that will open the stage exit. So we're going to kill these enemies, kind of go back the other way, kill some more enemies, a couple more here, and then we've kind of run out of enemies. So we're going to do a bomb jump up, do one more bomb jump up to the button, and that's going to make more progress towards opening the exit of the stage and also respawn the enemies. So there's some questions about whether or not the bomb jump trick, where he hits a bomb on his own head, is the intended way of doing things. It's kind of ambiguous whether or not the answer to the question is yes or not. It is definitely intended to jump on bombs generally. You see it even in the credits where they do it, but they do it in a slightly different way where a lot of the times they're kind of building a staircase for themselves. But that method of like bonking yourself with your own bomb is actually shown in like an official Japanese manual, I believe. So someone knew about it at least. So kind of debatable on what's intended by the developers and what's not. But I think that's kind of what's so cool about this game is like there's so many options, so many things that you can do. It's like a big sandbox. And so I think that kind of discovering of new ways of doing things is very much part of the intention of the game. All right, final boss time. It's Sirius. Actually not our friend, as it turns out. So he has 2 phases. First phase, we're hopefully going to take care of pretty quickly. There's no bomb jump, or there's no gold cards for this other than a time card. So once he comes down, we pause buffer to see which direction he's going, and then we just carry him off with a big bomb.
Nice.
And now we have the second phase, and Regulus is back, our old friend. Well, kind of. Regulus is actually fighting with us, and one of the gold cards for this fight is keeping Regulus alive. So hopefully Regulus behaves and doesn't die. But also for this fight, we have the gold cards of hitting Sirius with a big bomb. So we're gonna get that. And then we need to hit him on the head with a big bomb. See if Sirius behaves. Oh, not quite. Regulus is doing a great job walking back and forth. That's what we like to see. A lot of the time when Sirius does the laser, Regulus will just kind of walk into it a bunch of times and take a whole lot of damage. But that time he behaved pretty well. And so now we just need to kill Sirius. So time is coming up pretty soon here. Oh, then that's time.
GG.
Very nice. That's such a quick second phase.
I was about to say, I assume Sirius. Where does the story finish with us now? I assume Sirius is no longer pieces restored.
Yeah. I think things go back to normal to some extent. You know, Sirius is taken care of. Regulus, he still doesn't like you. That's the lore. but he is alive. And so Regulus, the guy we see there, he actually makes an appearance in Bomberman 64, the second attack. He's like the only carryover from this game to the supposed sequel, but the sequel doesn't have a whole lot to do with this game in terms of like the story, I guess. But yeah, everything's back to normal.
Interesting.
We blew up Black Fortress. Everybody's safe.
And I imagine our protagonist has a lot of trust issues after, you know, Sirius not being the friend that we thought he was.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Moogle Snake has done a brilliant job with that run, and hey, Lively's done a brilliant job with the commentary. We're probably going to be getting a few words from Moogle that we will relay, but in the time being, are there any shout-outs that you'd like to do, Lively? Any thanks that you have?
Shout outs to GDQ for having us, and shout outs to the Bomberman 64 community. If this seemed interesting, hit up the speedrun.com Discord, hit up the speedrun.com and join the Discord. And we're very friendly. We'll teach you all the ways.
Awesome. And yeah, we've just got word from Snake that, you know, similar sort of vibe. Shout outs to, you know, being able to have this run on. Lively for the commentary, everybody who's joined, everybody who's watched in chat, GDQ for having this on, and just the speedrun community for this game in general. And you know, even though I might have found out that this game technically shouldn't have really been on the show, I don't care, because that was sick. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But as Moogle Snake isn't here to say it for himself, folks, you should definitely go out and check Moogle Snake on Twitch, because he does a bit of this. I think it wasn't 100% that he was on when I checked before asking him about this, but I think Bomberman 64 is very much a thing that he does. Lively can back me up or not on whether this is true.
Yep, very true. He also does the sequel.
Awesome, nice. Well, yeah. Hey, Bomberman action. Moogle Snake is one of the runners to be there for. And Lively, give yourself a little plug as well. What do you be doing at the moment?
Yeah, I'm speedrunning this game. I've actually been speedrunning this category recently, trying to work my way back up to hopefully get the world record. Maybe. Oops, who knows? So check it out, I guess, if you're interested.
Hey. Well, there you go. There's two brilliant runners for you to check out. But folks, we are going to be wrapping up the Bomberman 64 action over here. But Going Places keeps going places. We are going to be having Castlevania Order of Ecclesia after a short break, where we get our next set of runners and commentators up and ready. But just before we switch over, here's a little reminder that every bit counts, and your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support the Games Done Quick hotfix. So if you are enjoying this sort of thing, I know that I thoroughly enjoy bringing these games and, you know, various other quirky games to the masses. But if you enjoy that as much as I do, then please consider subscribing if you enjoy this daily speedrun content. But without further ado, we are going to be going to a break. We're going to be enjoying some jams, and then we'll be back with Brooke and some Castlevania on the DS. See you in a sec, folks.